All right, moving right along. Marduki Super Friends. I think Tithe Taker is actually pretty sweet right now. Both mono blue and the blue green flash deck we were talking about have picked up a little bit, so this card's got sweet text there. Got some cheap removal in Cast Down, and Dire Fleet Daredevil does some stuff against other things. We got some Rekindling Phoenixes, which is an individually powerful card. We've got all the different Planeswalkers your heart could ever desire, and we got a mana base to cast them. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here and see how this one goes. Is there a Bedevil foil? Did we get a Bedevil foil? Is that a thing? I don't think we have a Bedevil foil, right? Yeah, there's no Bedevil foil. You made me doubt myself. You made me doubt myself. I mean, the fact that every constructed playable card is not available in foil, and they have cards that aren't constructed playable that are available in foil, is a really big miss, in my opinion. They are just taking money and spewing it by not having that be the case. Sorry about that. It's about lunchtime here. Since War's release, how's your experience with God Eternals been overall? I mean, it's good against the aggro decks, right? Like, it's just one of the best cards you can have against vampires. It's also good against mono red. It's pretty mediocre against the, it's pretty mediocre against, like, blue aggro, but I didn't attack because I have a 2-1 and they have an 0-3. So I declined not to. Someone asked me, provided nothing else gets bumped, do you think Naya Feather will be tomorrow or Friday? So tomorrow I'm playing in the fandom tournament in the afternoon. It was tapped. Then the answer is because I'm making lunch. Listen, we're many things here, but we are not a liar. You'll always find honesty on this channel, chat. I'm gonna blame my mac and cheese. What was I gonna say? So tomorrow we'll probably only play 1 or maybe 2 standard decks as the fandom tournament starts pretty soon. We are about to get dumpstered. Mid-range decks like this without a powerful comeback mechanic feel pretty bad in this format. Yeah, we just don't have a sweep burst. We're just super dead to the escape shift. Yeah, just gonna put a bunch of power into play and we're gonna die. That's true. I do have 1 singleton 6-mana Chandra. I've got some blockers here, I suppose. I do have some blockers. Huh. All right. That's Reading the card explains the card, chat. For everybody new and who's wondering how this works, I would encourage you to read. Reading is essential, one could argue. Reading is essential. We are currently Mythic ranked. I don't really have sideboard cards for this matchup, huh? I guess I could bring in, like, Duress. I guess Angrath takes Hydroid Crisis. That's probably in. I guess I bring in Duress. Like, these Dire Fleet Daredevils are, like, pretty bad. Alright. I'm gonna submit like that. Well, this is probably a mulligan, huh? This is probably a mulligan, just like gonna miss its land drop and die. It's gonna at least cast all of its spells. I'm gonna pitch the Oath, probably the Tithe Taker, actually. Tithe Taker just doesn't really have text here. There's a good chance this misses. Yeah, and this is the risk of bringing in a Duress, right? Like, while they have really high impact spells like Scape Shift, the density of spells they have in their deck is ultimately pretty low. I post about this in the subs Discord. I did not. Getting their ramp on here is pretty good for them. It means we could potentially see a... This means we could potentially see a 4-4 Hydroid Crisis next turn, which is out of range of Othakaya, which sucks for us. And I don't really have a good way to defend my Gideon, if that's the case. It's just a baby 3-3. That's good for us. I missed on a land drop as well here. Gideon's one of our better cards in this position. It allows us to actually get pretty aggressive. Our deck's a little pretty controlling and slowing. So yeah, having a 4-4 in play here seems pretty good. We are the 92% chat. Maybe our rule for fandom should be so long as they keep inviting me back while I play bad sweet decks, we'll just keep playing bad sweet decks. Maybe that should be the plan. You know, we don't need to try and win if they just invite us back anyways. And if we do manage to win with the bad sweet deck, it's just that much better, right? I would love a third land. Oh, it doesn't cast Gideon, though. Yikes. Mills, thanks for the half a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright. I see your lizard and raise you a 2-1. When it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the defending player. I would like to finish getting my 2-for-1, please. If the client will allow. Nothing to do with this just yet. I don't want to just jam it as a 2/1 first striker because they have a lightning strike in their bin. So I'd like to, that technically triggers Cavaclade, huh? Yeah, it could just be like aggro elementals and not be a Cavaclade deck. Because it says this Dorko's actually an elemental, right? There's like a lower to the ground elementals deck. I just need to kill that on sight. Like, there might be merit to, like, playing Karn and plussing him to get some Karn advantage going, but keeping Reef off the table is usually a pretty big priority. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. Yeah, Reef draws a lot of cards really quickly. Alright, so they can trade Stormkin for my Sarkhan here. But then I'm going to kill their Chandra on the backswing.
Study? Focus? I just want to burn stuff already.
So, if I plus this, I could Bedevil this and then kill her. Oh, Sarkhan kills the tokens. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I think I still want to. Maybe I'm supposed to just hit them here. I don't know. I feel like as the game goes along, I'm pretty favored here, right? So like keeping their Planeswalker out of play seems fine, especially when there's a lightning strike in their bin that would be able to flash back and kill Sarkhan otherwise. Hey. Checkwick, thank you for the quarter of your support. I appreciate the Prime Bucks back again. Good luck on your interview tomorrow. Alright, so Sarkhan's dead. But this is going to kill here, and I've got a bunch of other beef in my hand. Where's the beef? Right here, chat. Right here is the answer. This isn't quite resource efficient, but lifelinking here seems pretty tough for them to beat. Radagast, thank you for the 15 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My poor Dargan. Yeah, 6-mana Chandra probably comes out against the Elemental deck. Thanks for the 2 life.
Until you have a hideous choice.
Which one of my gals do I get? Excellent, excellent. That's what I like to hear.
I will lend you my strength.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
That was nothing. ready. Well chosen.
And like they're on empty here, so I was gonna take their thing that draws cards off the table.
Not being on fire problem.
Just like hopefully lock them out of getting back in. Yep. My cheaper removal seems good here. This is not good because it can't sweep. I feel like our main deck's actually pretty reasonable here, right? I've got cheap removal spells. Dire Fleet and Tithe Taker block okay. Maybe I just don't want that, and I'm just like swapping the Chandra for a Shivan Fire. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, Paula. Basically, anywhere that has an export button that exports right to Arena is fine. That's my one requirement. Makes me have to jump through fewer hoops to get things into the client. $31.25. Thank you for that half a year of support. I appreciate that. Hope your Wednesday is treating you well. Vile Goblins. I guess I should just suck it up and play Goblins. I've rejected the Goblins deck like 2 times now. And you're the 3rd person to submit it. So like, usually when something gets submitted enough times, eventually I just accept it so I have a video to point to. I don't think Modern Vile Goblins is real. I think it's fine against like green, black, rock, and blue-white control. But if you look at the amount of interaction that it has, playing against any reasonable linear deck in Modern is just going to run you right over. Yeah, we'll probably put Paula's submission. Just so I can have something concrete to point to and people ask why I don't want to play it. That's true. Yeah, if your format you're playing in is mostly fair decks and like not like the dredges and the burns of the world, like it's probably fine. But like against really efficient linear modern decks, it's gonna be a dumpster pile. I mean, like if we hit a bunch of green black decks, we probably can 5-0. Remember, you can 5-0 with anything. I think I'm just playing Karn here. Obligatory Scred, what a GP, yep.
Are you certain of your decision?
I'm the Tron player at my LGS. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to play Modern with me. Alright, Karn drew a card and gained 3 on attacks. That's probably good enough. More importantly, he also got a Lightning Strike into their bin. So I get to deploy the Dire Fleet Daredevil here and then Lightning Strike down their Steamkin. Seems pretty good. Alright, so as we've been saying, Risen Reef is pretty much a kill on sight. Nah, by the time you're Mystic Forging people in Tron, you'd rather just, like, have a different bomb and kill them. I definitely fear the Reefer, chat. Woof. You have a Phoenix over here from an earlier Karn. Yeah, so the people that are wondering why I'm not getting aggressive comes down to role assessment. So, in my opinion, as this game goes long, we are more likely to win than our opponent. So I'm making choices that are conservative with my gameplay to allow me to get ahead as the game goes long. That being said, they're kind of going off here, huh? They're about to put Risen Reef into play. Which is going to double trigger this Risen Reef. This is, Thunderkin Awakener Risen Reef is, like, pretty dope, as the kids would say. We're actually kind of fortunate they didn't hit lands there, because Omnath lets lands draw cards. We're probably dead at this point. I think they're about to just bury us in cards. We don't have, like, a sweeper as a catch-up mechanic from here. We're getting too much Reefer. Oh, there's a Lightning Strike in there. Alright. I think once they're at 8 lands, Omnath is more intimidating than Risen Reef. Mostly because when I said that, they didn't have, when I was making those assessments, they didn't have all those cards. And they kind of drew more Risen Reefs and then drew an Omnath while we didn't draw any of our card advantage. Our deck's got a lot of Planeswalkers in it, which tend to generate card advantage as the game goes along. That being said, obviously they drew another Risen Reef, they drew an Omnath, which drew a card, they drew a Thunderkin, which drew another card, which drew 2 cards. But that, like, the Thunderkin drew 3 cards, basically, right? Because it came into play and then it triggered this. And it feels like we just gotten kind of buried here and don't really have a catch-up mechanic. It feels like my deck lacks removal at the bottom end, so maybe that's something I want to adjust out of the sideboard here. Like, a lot of what's going on in my sideboard isn't really ways to kill cheap creatures. Which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9, 10 pieces of spot removal in the main deck, but like some amount of shocks or more Shivan Fires is probably not an unreasonable inclusion. Feels dead, man. Feels dead, man. We'll keep the cast down on the Karn because maybe the Karn can pull us up out of the Mulligan here. I mean, Disfigure, Shivan Fire, Shock, they're all very similar cards. So, like, playing more Shivan Fires, it's a card that scales into the late game, is not something unreasonable. Yeah, having some kind of actual factual sweeper might be good. We're playing on the ladder, so we can open this up between matches. We can pull it up and see what we think about what we have going on. Watching you from my brand new home, dreading moving in the seat, so taking a break and watching you. Hey, Lilibad. New homes are exciting, at least. Stay hydrated while you do. So Christy and I moved into this house the first or second week of January, and we were unpacking more stuff from the garage this past week. I was just like, yeah, we almost live here. At some point, we will be unpacked. They have a lava coil. We're probably done here. Yeah, one of the nice things about the new house is we have a three car garage, which basically means a 2-car plus lots of crap garage at the current point in time. Would like one of your finest planes, please. Why, thank you. It really does. The old house had a 1-car plus crap garage or a 2-car garage. So being able to actually put both of our cars in the garage during the winter while still having like bicycles and lawnmowers and snowblowers and stuff in there is very convenient. Yeah, we get a lot of extreme weather in the Midwest, so not having to scrape snow off your car in the winter is a pretty big deal. It's a very, very big added convenience. Yeah, you get a lot for your money where I live. Like our house is like 3,200 square feet because land is really cheap. And like we have a full basement. You can have basements here, so we have a full basement. But we get all the extremes of weather, right? Like we get 110 degree heat warning days this week, and we get polar vortexes in the winter. Huge tracts of land. The lot for this house is actually smaller than my old house, which is nice because I didn't want to cut that much grass anymore. It is rare that we get tornadoes. So on a very rare occasion, they happen. I don't think Bloomington Normal proper has had a tornado in a while. Lim Nursery, thank you for the 3/4 of a year's birthday. I appreciate that. Welcome. If they had a red instant, deal? Oh, they have a way to kill the egg. Okay. That makes more sense.
What was lost is now returned.
Yeah, we're still incredibly well off here, right?
This isn't your average zone.
You got plenty of planeswalkers here. This type of setup is why I was estimating we should be favored as the game goes along. Hey, DJN, thanks for the biddies. Good morning. Oh no! Oh no! You think I can fit anything else in here with my foot? You think aside from my foot, anything else can fit in my mouth at the moment? Uncertain. Yeah, this format, Bob, is like Like, this format is such a great example of why, like, you getting to do sweet things is more interesting than, like, telling your opponents they can't do their sweet things. There's, how many copies of Bedevil do we have? We have, like, 2 copies of Bedevil.
What's this?
Try some carrots. I do have a bag of carrots in the fridge still. All right, I'm gonna leave this back as a blocker in case they draw another haste creature. Yeah, Mortify was much worse than Bedevil there. So, my problem with the Immortal Sun, Haskell, is the way it lines up against a lot of the Planeswalkers in the format. It's not even very good against a lot of the good decks playing Planeswalkers, and it's really good against these fringe decks. So, in my opinion, Immortal Sun basically only serves as a manner to punish sweet fringe decks, and when a card like this hoses sweet fringe decks and doesn't do anything meaningful against the decks that are actually good in the format, I feel like it's a bad inclusion in the format overall, if that makes sense.
I'll find a use for you later.
We're dead to them returning Omnath next turn. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Playing Immortal Sun when they have a 3-mana Narset in play is like, what are we doing with our lives? Alright, let's put a couple sweepers on the board. I think some Clarion. Some Clarion sounds good. Let's get at least 3 of these in here. I think Kaya sounds a little bit middling. Stay open. Thank you. Yeah, not only for mana efficiency, but like Clarion has the hidden mode of like giving our creatures lifelink, because we do have some creatures. So there's gonna be board states where like giving our like dragon, our Sarkhan, and our Gideon lifelink like wins us the game. This standard is why I have jumped headfirst back into the Monster Hunter series. I feel like there are a number of people who are just waiting for rotation in the fall. Bino, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is fine. Got all my colors. I don't have double black yet, but like, I need 2 more lands to cast her anyways. Arena might need a re-kick here. Starting to run a little slow. Nice, Ostin. Yeah, Underlords is dropping a patch on Thursday that's supposed to like add some units and rebalance a bunch of stuff. So I think I might swap Friday morning stream to an Underlord stream. Gosh, even Savitz he's playing Teamfight Tactics. I'm gonna keep Bedevil. I don't have double black for it yet, but against turn 1 Hallowed Fountain, it's probably pretty good. Oh, there's a Twitch Rivals Teamfight Tactics today. That makes sense. The build of Tron we had was not particularly good. Yeah, Standard had like a set and a half of being really good. I mean, Arena's free to install. Free to install is a better way to describe like what Hearthstone and games like this do. Now, it was mostly war. Before war, Reclamation was kind of a stain. But, like, post-war, it's definitely, there's a number of things that I would classify as, like, these are kind of heinous to play. Heinous, is this a BVD stream? Yeah. In general, I think it's been good examples of why prison cards like Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge shouldn't exist. In my opinion, 3-mana Teferi is a card that is as heinous to play with and against as Ensnaring Bridge and Blood Moon. You might even be able to make the reasonable argument that it's more heinous than those cards because those cards are at least symmetrical. At least you have to try and break the symmetry with those cards. Whereas Teferi is one-sided. Yeah, Chalice of the Void is at least symmetrical. Well, do I even want to bring in Clarion here? I probably do, right? Just to, like, catch up in situations like that. Probably. Cast Down's kind of mediocre. Tithe Taker's pretty bad here, too, actually. Maybe I want Flame Chained. Like, how grindy do I want to go here? It's, like, always a tough balancing act in these games, like, how much actual interaction do you want and how much ways to generate card advantage? Probably don't mind an Elderspell. Who are some of the best personalities I met while grinding the torch? So, as my let's call it gruff, no BS, cut through the crap attitude might imply, I'm not really a people person. So, like, when I was traveling a lot, my traveling was mostly like driving, getting to hotel rooms late, waking up, playing tournaments, getting a good night's sleep, and then waking up and doing it again, and then driving home. Like I've traveled to a lot of cities, but, like, if you ask me to, like, tell you nice things about those cities, I could rank them for you, like, based on the quality of their convention center and the food that's proportional to the convention center within walking distance. But, like, as for other meaningful things about the city, not really. Traveling to pay paper magic, and this is, for people that aren't familiar with my background, I want to prefix this story with the 3 to 4 years I spent playing on the SCG tour. I was one of the top performing players for almost every one of those years. Traveling to play Magic in paper was a break-even job that occasionally even lost money being one of the top performing players. So I worked a normal 9 to 5 while doing that, or was home with the kids during the week, which is more than a 9 to 5 really. And there wasn't a whole lot of time for schmoozing around, basically. Yeah. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Do 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 do. They're gonna veto our Elderspell, and then I'm gonna concede. Oh, it worked. So you're saying there's a chance. Hey, Alarox, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around.
Open mind.
Only 63 weeks till rotation. The people I, like, spent the most time with at SCG events are, like, the people that I traveled with, right? Because, like, when you're driving 15 hours in a car to get to New Jersey, you know, you have a lot of time to talk about things. So people like Maddie, who I traveled to events with, or I played a couple events with Ken Ketter. He was in Indiana, so we picked him up a couple of times. Some okay stories from people that I travel regularly with. But as far as, like, schmoozing at the actual events themselves, didn't generally have a lot of time for that. We're just, like, super dead, right? I guess I do this and, like, take their hero and it gets dead. And I feel like we're just too far gone at this point. I guess if, like, their hand is bad and I rip another Clarion. This was like 5. Oh, they didn't read my Angrath. Maybe they thought they were going to get their hero back. They must have thought they were going to get their hero back. So, like, this Angrath was like 5 mana, kill your hero, gain 1. That's true. We did get trapped in Indianapolis one time. Nah, I only moved 10 minutes up the road, Jerry. Maddie's just an adult who works a traditional job these days.
My blade, your end has arrived.
What are the odds they don't have a Doomblade or a 3-mana Teferi? Maybe their hand is all bad cards. Is Matt really an adult? I mean, like, he works a job that adults work.
Listen to them roar.
Listen to them roar. I like the opponent correctly identifying we just can't do anything. Would it have been better for me to uptick there? No, I don't think so. I don't think I could beat a removal spell. I think my only chance in that game is, like, having a dragon that survives. Like, what does having a Sarkhan on 1 do for me? Actual nothing? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day on this one and move on to the next one. This deck is, maybe if we retooled it with more efficient removal, but even then, just, like, this deck is playing a lot of Planeswalkers, but it's not playing a lot of Planeswalkers that generate meaningful card advantage. So against the other mid-range decks, it felt like we were running out of gas very quickly. Against the aggro decks, we don't have a lot of super efficient tools like Clarion or cheap spot removal to keep up against those. So I think you could retool your bottom end to be better against aggressive decks, but I'm not sure that these colors really have meaningful tools to keep up with the grind that Esper is capable of.